Pahlavi text translated by E.W. West, Part 3. Sikand Gumanik Vigar, Chapter 16, Clareton, Oxford University Press, 1885. 1. Again about the delusion of Mani. One out of the thousands and myriads is written. 2. For I am not unrestrained on the tongue as to writing more fully of the delusion, twaddle, and deceit of Mani and the Manikaans. 3. And much trouble and long continued daily work is necessary for me therein. 4. Now you, Mazda worshippers of Zarathustra, should know that the original statement of Mani was about the unlimitedness of the original evolutions. 5. The intermediate one about their mingling. 6. And the final one about the distinction of light from dark. 7. That which is much more like unto want of distinction. Except the belief of the two original existences whose main characteristics are respectively light and darkness, the account of Mani's doctrines given in the Fihrist of Muhammad bin Ishaq, see Flugel's Mani, sein Leher, und sein Schriften, appears to contain none of the details mentioned in this chapter. 8. Again, he states this, that the worldly existence is a bodily formation of rudiments of a harmon. 9. The bodily formation being a production of a harmon. 10. And a repetition of that statement is this, that the sky is from the skin. 11. The earth from the flesh. 12. The mountains from the bones. 13. And the trees from the hair of the demon Kuni. So read in Naryasang, in Pazand, and Kuni in Sanskrit, but there's little doubt that he is the demon Kunda, or Kunde, of Vendidad, chapter 11, verse 28 and 36, chapter 19, verse 138, whose Pahlavi name is Kund, in the Pahlavi Vendidad, chapter 19, verse 138, and Kundak in Bundahis, chapter 28, verse 42, in which letter he is said to be the steed of wizards. Kundak is written like Kunik in Pahlavi, and this latter becomes Kuni and Pazand. 14. The rain is the seed of the Mazendarans, who are bound on the celestial sphere, who are called demons. See Muk, chapter 27, verse 20 and 40. 15. Mankind are two-legged demons and animals four-legged. I would say animals are innocent and humans, whether they're demons or not, depends on their choices. 16. And Kuni is the commander of the army of Aharman. 17. Who is to be liberated by his nails from the divinity of Uharmazd, in the first conflict swallowed the light. Sanskrit has, having scratched with, did I say the reference to the demons or Muk 27 verse 20, 40? Yeah, I think I said that. 18. And in the second conflict, the demon Kuni was captured by them, together with many demons. 19. And it is in binding the demon Kuni on the celestial sphere he is killed. 20. And these magnificent creatures are preserved from him and formed. 21. And the sun and moon are arranged in supremacy in the outer sky. 22. So that as regards that light which the demons swallowed, they filter and excite it little by little through the exciting and filtering of the sun and moon. Assuming that the Pazand Ahara Minend stands for the Pahlavi Ara Minend, they do not leave at rest, so they filter and excite it little by little, sighting and filtering of the sun and moon. 23, then Aharman knew through foresight that they would rapidly filter and release this light through the exciting of the sun and moon. 24, and for the purpose of not rapidly releasing the light from the darkness, he prepared this lesser world, which, like mankind, cattle, and the other living creatures, is a wholly copied similitude of the greater world with the other bodily creations. The spiritual world and its inhabitants. 25. He confined life and light in the body and made them prisoners. 26. So that while that light, which is excited by the sun and moon, is again exhausted through the cohabitation and birth of living creatures. 27. Their release would become more tardy. 28. And the rain was the seed of the Mazendarans. 29. For the reason that when the Mazendarans are bound on the celestial sphere, as stated in verse 14, other bodily creatures, the spiritual world and its inhabitants. 30, whose light is swallowed by them. 31, and in order to pass it from them through a new regulation, discrimination, and retention of the light of time, the 12 glorious ones show the daughters of time to the household attending male Mazendarans. The light of time, personified as Zervan, the 12 glorious ones, the signs of the zodiac, the celestial leaders appointed by Uharmazd. See Muk, chapter 8, verse 18. 32, so that while the lust of those Mazendarans from seeing them is well suited to them. 33, and seed is discharged from them. 34, the light which is within the seed is poured onto the earth. 35, trees, shrubs, and grain have grown therefrom. 36, and the light which is within the Mazendarans is discharged in the seed. 37, that which is within the earth is discharged from the earth as the cause of the trees. 38, again, about the difference of nature of life and body. This is stated that the life is confined and imprisoned within the body. 39, and as the producer and maintainer of the bodily formations of all material existences is a Harman. 40, for the same reason it is not expedient to occasion birth and to propagate lineage. 41, because it is cooperating with a Harman in the maintenance of mankind and cattle, and in causing the exhaustion of the life and light within their bodies, nor yet to cultivate trees and grain. 42, again inconsistently, they also say this. 43, that the destroyer of the creatures is always a Harman. 44, and for the same reason it is not expedient to kill any creatures, whatever. 45, because it, killing, is the work of a Harman. 46, again they say this, that as the world is maintained by a Harman, and in the end the sacred being is triumphant. 47, through the departure of lives from bodies. 48, this worldly existence is dissipated in the end. 49, and is not arranged anew. 50, nor does there occur a restoration of the dead and a future existence. 51, again they say this, that those two original evolutions are perpetually remaining and existed as contiguously as sun and shadow. 52, and no demarcation and open space existed between them. Demarcation, reading Nisani, Naryosong has the Pazand Nisami for Nisimi, Sanskrit, Asanatvam, resting place. 53, now I speak first about the impossibility of the occurrence of any existing thing that is unlimited. 54, except only those which I call unlimited, that is, empty space and time. 55, those indeed which are for existence within them, that is, beings and things in locality and time are seen to be limited. 56. This too I say that, if unity and duality be spoken of by them, it is owing to this, because unity, except through the perpetual encompassing of something, does not then exist therein. 57. For the one is this, namely, not two. 58. And the two are these, namely, the original one, and the one that is the difference of this one from the other. 59. Which is not called two. 60. When the one is not understood except through the whole encompassing of unity. 61. And duality cannot occur except through the separation of unit from unit. 62. The one is that one in the unity and is steadfast in unity. 63. 1 and 2 are in the pedigree, tokmak, of quantity and numerousness. 64. And quantity, numerousness, aggregation, and separation, which, as I have said, cannot occur without limitation. 65. Are clear even to medium understandings. 66. Again, I say this, the unlimited is that which is not compassed by the understanding. 67. When it is not possible to compass by any understanding, it is inevitable that it was not possible to compass in the understanding of the sacred being. 68. It is itself the peculiarity of the sacred being, and even that of the gloomy original evolution is not wholly compassed within the understanding. 69. To speak of him whose own peculiarity is not compassed within his own understanding, as all good and all seeing is strange. See chapter 15, verse 39. 70. Because it describes a whole aggregate. 71. And an aggregate is called a whole on account of the encompassment on all sides. 72. But what is encompassed on all sides is inevitably limitedness. 73. Is it fitting to account that as a sacred being, when aware from all its own encompassment, that it is limited? 74. And if unlimited, it is unaware of it. 75. The first knowledge of a stage is owing to his well-arranging comprehension of his own peculiarity, nature, and quantity. Well-arranging, assuming that the Bazand vas hava zirasne stands for the Pahlavi agas, hu azirisan, the latter word can scarcely have been hu azirisni. Good arrangement. Comprehension of its own peculiarity, nature, and quantity. 67. And to speak of him who was unaware of all his own peculiarity, nature, and quantity, and yet wise about another nature and quantity, is strange. See chapter 15, verse 39. 77. This too I say, that as the unlimited on account of non-encompassment is not encompassed by the understanding. 78. That implies this, that all its peculiarity may be wise, or there may be some that is ignorant. All may be light, or there may be some that is dark. All may be alive, or there may be some that is dead, and one is unaware of it. 79. Again, I say this, that the light and the life which I obtain here are an allotment that exists owing to the self-same time. Are they or not? See verse 31. And there's a saying attributed to Prophet Muhammad, don't revile time, because that's one of the divine qualities. But certainly they meant it in the Zoroastrianism sort of way, right? 80. If they be an allotment that exists owing to a peculiarity of time, that implies that men should well recognize this, that anything owing to whose allotment it is possible to ordain them must be provided with allotments. 81. As to what is provided with allotments, except when united, it is then not possible even for it. 82. And as to what is united, except through the uniter by whom that united thing is united, it does not then determine it. 83. And when the allotment made is seen to be limited, the origin from which the allotment is, in like manner, made is doubtless a limited existence. 84. As regards that, since they say that all allotment of a result is a giver of evidence as to its origin. 85. That implies when I obtain an allotment made and limited, that an origin even of that, except when made and united from allotments and limited, is then not possible to exist. 86. This too I say, that the unlimited is not bestowed. 87. Because an allotment is bestowed from an aggregate. 88. An aggregation is an evidence as to limitation. 89. As I have shown above, see verse 64. 90. So that as to the existence and nature of the origin, except by the likeness and similitude of the result, I do not then attain to them. 91. Whatever is attained in the result, obtained. 92. Is certain to exist in like manner in the origin. 93. That implies likewise from this explanation, when the formation and limitation are obtainable in the result, that the origin also, from which the result arises, is without doubt as the limitation. 94. Again I say this, that the unlimited is that which has an undisturbed position and an unbounded individuality. Unbounded, assuming that the Pazand of a man stands for the Pahlavi Avimand, as it is translated by the Sanskrit Amaryada. Otherwise it might be a Guman, unbounded. 95. And there is no other position or resting place for it, disturbed apart from it. 96. That implies when two original evolutions are said to be unlimited and of unbounded, asaman, individuality, that the skies and earths, the rudimentary bodily formations, growths and lives, the luminaries, divinities, and archangels, and the many congregations, Hambarisnan, whose different names are owing to the differences of each one of those two from the other, cannot be limited. 97. What produced all those within them, and where is it? 98. When the two original evolutions have been eternally in an undisturbed position. 99. Unless that individuality of theirs, which is unlimited, be made limited, how is it possible for a place to exist for all these things that are and were and will be made? 100. If a nature that is always unlimited can become limited, that certainly implies that it could even become nothing. 101. And that which they say about the unchangeableness of nature is strange. See chapter 15, verse 39. 102. This too, that you should understand, that the unlimited becomes that which has disturbed it, which was not appointed by it at first. 103. Nothing different from it can exist separate from it. 104. Apart from the boundary of unlimitedness, it is not understood. 105. Or stupidly, one does not know that thing that is of what it is. He always speaks and contends and bandies words about, and thereby deludes those with the trifle of the trifles of knowledge into some way and whither. 106. If he uncritically says, even this of it, that its individuality is unlimited, and its knowledge also being unlimited, knows through unlimited knowledge that it is unlimited. Uncritically, the first part of this word is a blank, and JE as if copied from an original that was illegible here. JJ has vara ideha. Uncritically says even this. 107. That is a strange thing, which is twofold strange. See chapter 15, verse 39. 108. One is this, that of knowledge, except about things acquired by knowledge, encompassed within knowledge. 109. Nothing whatever is understood until complete, except that which is wholly compassed within knowledge and acquired. 110. Which knowledge of anything arises through entire understanding of the thing. 111, and entire understanding of anything arises through entire compass of the thing within knowledge. The most complete manuscript yet discovered. Break off at this point without concluding the subject. It is quite uncertain how much of the work is lost, but supposing that all existing manuscripts are descended from AK, supposing that the manuscript was originally complete, and supposing that it was divided into 2 equal portions, the latter of which is now lost, in consequence of some division of family property, we might then conclude, if all these assumptions were correct, that very little of the work is missing, because the portion of AK still extant extends no further than chapter 11, verse 145, which is very little beyond the middle of the extant text.